Hi everyone, how's life and welcome to another video. Tonight I am at Animal Kingdom Lodge, about to dine at one of my favourite restaurants in Walt Disney World, Jiko, so come along. Now Jiko is one of the 3 restaurants here at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's also the only signature dining restaurant here, which means it offers an elevated experience in terms of dining. The restaurant offers a delicious blend of traditional African, Indian and Mediterranean cuisine. They have things such as steak, chicken, seafood and plant-based dishes, but they're all infused with a uniquely bold blend of tantalizing flavours and fragrant spices. I have a reservation tonight for 9:20 p.m. It's quite a late one, I know, but it's a very popular restaurant, so it's quite difficult to get reservations for, so I'm just going to go and check in, let them know I'm here, and then we'll go and have dinner. Right, well I've just checked in, now I'm just waiting here for my name to be called, and as you can see, this restaurant is also known for its wine selection. Apparently it offers the largest selection of South African wine anywhere in the world, apart from obviously South Africa.
I'll be taking your table tonight.
Well, looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Andy.
So, is this your first time with us?
It's my second time. Oh. My first time was in 2017, and I loved it so much I had to come back.
Oh, well, it's about your time then, isn't it?
Thank you, yes, indeed.
Well, we're going right over here then.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So, we've got a lovely table over here. We've got this beautifully heavy and large menu with loads of delicious items in front of us, which we're going to have a look at later. There's also, I believe this might be the drink selection, so yes, as you can see, they do a lot of different specialty cocktails. They do draft beers if you're into that.
The warm towel service is actually an African tradition of welcoming someone into our home.
Amazing.
I believe it started on Ethiopia.
Okay.
It has actually been adopted into many of the cultures that reside in the continent of Africa. So, whether it's your first time here, your second time, or you haven't been here since 2017, no matter what, your welcome will always be the same with us. As a new friend and a new family, dining with us for the first time.
On the colder days.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so nice. And the rose water, the smell.
Are you meant to wash your hands with your face
Wash
with it
your
as well?
hands, your face.
Okay.
I see people with lack of a lot of hair.
Okay.
On top of their head.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
honestly, as long as it just makes you feel relaxed and comfortable, that's what
everyone should do this.
Yes.
I'm going to start doing it when people come to my house.
That's right. It's like you pull up into like an Applebee's or oh yes, bring our towel. I enjoy it.
I know. Thank you so much.
Very welcome and enjoy.
Thank you. Well, you saw that about the towel service. Already I'm feeling just very relaxed actually. It's so lovely to be welcomed by a warm towel, and Andrew, the cast member, is fantastic. But yes, so this is the drink selection, which, as I mentioned, they have loads of things. They are known for their wines in this restaurant. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a wine or not. I'll see what the waiter says, if he has any suggestions with the food I'm offering. Maybe I'll treat myself to a glass, but it is a large selection of drinks. But the menu that we have is here. I actually don't think the menu, like the look of it, has changed at all since I was last here in 2017, which, by the way, check out the vlogs from 2017 if you want to. I've got a whole Walt Disney World vlog series from 2017, March of 2017, so exactly 7 years ago at this point. And we came to Jiko with 3 of my friends and it was hilarious. Right, so for appetizers they've got a Jiko salad, which I believe is the plant-based option. They've got scallops, they've got braid wild boar tenderloin, which sounds good. I think I might go for that actually. Then they've got a duck confit and honey raisin flatbread. That also sounds good. Sweet potato groundnut soup. In terms of enhancements, they've got a Côte d'Ivoire octopus salad, a boba tea mac and cheese, which I've heard pretty good things about, and then a Zulu oxtail sampan beans. And then in terms of main courses, which Americans call entrees, they've got an oak grilled filet mignon, which is $54. They've got a chicken option, some fish, short rib, and then also an injera basket, which seems to be the plant-based option, as well as a couple of other options like a seafood one, a lamb shank. Wow, there's actually quite a lot on here. And a cocoa crusted venison loin. Every option sounds delicious, to be honest, but I think I'm going to go for the oak grilled filet mignon. I'm pretty sure the filet mignon is exactly what I got last time I was here as well. It may have been a little bit different, but I do remember getting a steak here and being extremely impressed by it. So I just actually spoke to my server for the night as well, and I asked her what she would recommend. So she said from the appetizers she would personally go for the tenderloin or the scallops. I think I'm going to go for the tenderloin, the wild boar tenderloin. And then from the entree, she said the filet mignon is fantastic, but her personal favorite is the lamb shank. Now, I do enjoy a good lamb shank, so now I'm a bit like, oh, what do I do? Do I go for the filet mignon, which is what I really wanted to, or do I try the lamb shank? I don't know. So I have already got my drink here. I decided to go for an apple juice just to start with, but I think I'm going to go for wine as well. The lovely waiter, Kaylee, said she's going to bring a wide variety for me to taste from and then choose which one I actually want. Whilst I wait for that though, I wanted to show you the beautiful view that I currently have at my table. This restaurant is very elegant, it's very beautiful, and the style, of course, with it being an Animal Kingdom Lodge, always has that African feel to it. Also, let me add that I've only been in this restaurant for about 15 minutes now, and already I've had such great cast member experiences. I've met about 3 or 4 different cast members, and they've all just been fantastic. They've welcomed me so greatly, and this is why I'm smiling like this. You're amazing.
Of course.
Yeah.
They watch some of the attractions in Disneyland. My sister's obsessed with Phantom Manor.
Oh, Phantom Manor is good.
I
Phantom
do.
Manor
I've
is
been there
good.
once. I love it.
I like this one as well. Because you said your favourite is the Lady May. I'm going to go for the Lady May if that's okay.
Lady May was 78.
Okay.
Porto, France. So she wanted to bring that Porto style blend grape over to South Africa.
Amazing.
And so when she started the winery, it's family run, absolutely amazing wines there. And like I said, one of my favorites, 0 tannins, 8% Cabernet Sauvignon, 6% Petit Verdot, and 6% Merlot.
Amazing. Thank you. So I decided to go for the Lady May wine over there. Shout out to my lovely server, Kaylee, for the night. We've also got our bread service in front of us. Now, this looks amazing. This, I believe, is called like a giraffe bread just because of the pattern on top of it. It looks really, really good. Sorry about the lighting. And then this bread, if I'm not mistaken, Kaylee said it's got some saffron in it. I'm a big saffron fan. We use saffron a lot in Persian cuisine, so that should be good. And then, of course, we've got the butter. So there you go. This is already a lovely start to the meal. Okay, so let's have a little bit of the giraffe bread. It is so nice and soft. It smells pretty good as well. Who doesn't love bread at the end of the day? Especially bread that looks like giraffes, my favorite animals. Let's oh my god, the butter as well is so just like soft. It's a lot softer than I expected it to be. It's a big piece of bread, but I'm gonna give it a go. The butter is lovely. It tastes a tiny bit salted, I might be wrong, but yeah, the softness of it just like melts in your mouth. It's beautiful. And then the bread, what a fantastic pairing with the butter. The giraffe bread, a winner. I'm going to try this other bread as well. I think she said this is from Ethiopia and has some saffron in it. I can definitely smell the saffron. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Persian cuisine because we do use saffron in quite a lot of our food. So let's give this a go. The giraffe bread was fantastic, but I think I prefer the saffron bread because the saffron bread has just so much flavor to it. And again, with the mix of the butter, it is the perfect starter to your starter. The more I'm eating of that butter, by the way, the more I'm realizing that it's actually not salted. It's just very, very creamy and soft. And honestly, both of these breads, you can see I've already eaten quite a lot of both of them. They are both delicious. Now, before I go any further, my appetizer has actually arrived, which, as I mentioned earlier, is the wild boar tenderloin. So I don't recall ever having had boar before. Maybe I have at one point in my life, but I don't particularly remember it. I'm looking forward to it. I love those crunchy bits. So yeah, this is a wild boar tenderloin. Apparently it's got some creamy pap and chocolate tomatoes under it. And yeah, some herb smoked oil as well. So looks delicious, very appetizing. Cannot wait to dig into it. So I'm just cutting into the boar. There's a little piece of it here. I'm going to get it with some of the creamy bits and the chakalaka tomatoes. There you go, got a nice bite here. We've got the boar, some of the creamy stuff, the tomato chakalaka as well. So yeah, let's give this a taste test. That is filled with flavors. Like my mouth was an explosion of flavors, which is amazing considering it's amazing, so good. You can get a hint of the tomatoes, got a bit of a spice as well. The creaminess goes so well with the meaty flavor of the tenderloin, and the meat itself is so tender. Like it's probably one of the tenderest, if that's even a word, meats that I've ever had. It's delicious. Wow, this is so good. If this is how good it is, I can't wait for my main course because this is delicious. I could easily have this as my main course. So good. Let's try a little bit of the crunchy bits as well. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm guessing just going to add a bit of crunch to this life. Yeah, I'm not getting much flavor or taste from those crunchy bits. They're almost like crispy, I don't know, like crispy, cute little bubbly things. This is what they look like. There's not a lot of them either, to be fair, and I can take them or leave them. They just add crunch to the meal, in my opinion. The actual flavor really comes from the tenderloin itself and the chakalaka around it, and the oil, I suppose, that they've used to make it. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this, and then I'll get back to you once my filet mignon comes. Well, that wild boar tenderloin was devoured. That was honestly so delicious. I'm actually already a bit sad that I'm finished with it, but I've got a bit of wine to enjoy until my main course comes. I love red wine. I'm not a big drinker, but wine I really enjoy the taste of, and red wine actually is my favorite. And this Lady May wine that Kaylee suggested, and I really enjoyed this one between the two that she brought to me. Apparently has a hint of French wines or something, but yeah, of course it's South African wine. And yeah, it's lovely. I feel like I'm proper treating myself tonight. And just like that, my main course has arrived, the filet mignon. It comes with a side of mac and cheese, and then also some Brussels sprouts. And I believe the side of vegetables is dependent on the weather and the time of year. Sometimes it could be different kinds of vegetables. At this time of filming, March of 2023, they have some Brussels sprouts. But the mac and cheese I'm very much looking forward to trying. And the filet mignon apparently is meant to be one of the best on Disney properties. So very much looking forward to it. I decided to go for medium, by the way, in terms of the temperature of the steak. So yeah, can't wait to dig into it. Before I dig into my steak here, which just so you can see the size comparison between my face and this, it is quite a big plate. I just want to also mention the fact that this restaurant just generally smells amazing. As soon as I stepped inside the restaurant, I could smell the delicious flavors of the entire menu, I want to say. This place is called Jiko the Cooking Place, and they really are phenomenal at cooking, at least from my experience so far. But with that, I'm going to try some of the steak. Oh my god, that steak was so easy to cut into. Like, Lord have legit mercy. I did not expect that. I literally wanted to put a bit of pressure on it, but it just cut so easily. So this is the piece of steak. Looks nice and medium and very well cooked just from the looks of it. Let's taste it. I want to cry. Is it weird to cry over a steak? Because I low-key feel emotional. That was such a delicious steak, and I'm not normally a filet mignon person. I'm more of a ribeye kind of girl. But this filet mignon, I don't know how they've managed to make it so lovely. I mean, the way it's cooked is just perfect. I like my steak to be medium, and it's just done so perfectly well. I can't get over the steak. I don't even need the sides. The steak itself is so good. And again, this is so unlike me. I'm very much like if I'm having steak, I need to have some fries or some vegetables, something with it. This steak here in front of me is so good that I would easily just have it on its own. No, I just don't want anything. I just want this. I want to be able to eat this steak for the rest of my life. Wow. I can't get enough of it, guys, honestly. I'm overwhelmed. I didn't think I was going to love it this much. The appetizer was so good, but this steak is definitely the highlight so far. Right, let's try some of the mac and cheese as well, just to give ourselves a little bit of a break from that beautiful steak. I just realized that kind of rhymed, by the way, break and steak, but there you go. This is the mac and cheese. The mac and cheese is lovely as well. Nice and creamy, very cheesy, and yeah, I like it. It's not exceptional though, I have to say. It's not an exceptional mac and cheese. The steak is definitely exceptional. The mac and cheese is just really, really good. Or it could be because I love the steak so much that now the bar is set really high than anything else. I mean, honestly, this is really good mac and cheese, but it's just compared to the steak. I'd rather have more steak. Let's try some of the Brussels sprouts as well before we get back to the steak. They're pretty good too. But of course, as you can imagine, the steak is the highlight. I'm gonna enjoy my meal now. Hopefully not cry too much over it. I very rarely get emotional over food, but the steak is genuinely on another level. So I'll get back to you when it's time for dessert. Cheers to you guys. What an amazing meal. Well, I am done with my main course. I ate all the steak, some of the mac and cheese, and some of the Brussels sprouts. I wasn't able to finish the mac and cheese or the Brussels sprouts. It was just too much. I focused on the steak. But we have the dessert menu here. It's got African drum beats, which is the plant-based option, Kilimanjaro, which I think is what I got last time, which is a single origin Ghanaian dark chocolate mousse, pistachio financier, pink peppercorn meringue, cocoa and imprint. Okay, yeah, that sounds good, and I was probably going to go for that today as well, because sometimes, when I like something, I like to go for the same thing again. However, my server, lovely server, said that the African milk custard, cinnamon cream, and berry reduction, which is the Melket, the next one here, is her favorite. It is delicious. I think my friend Rebecca might have tried that when we were here together in 2017, so I think I'm going to go for that. And finally, we've got our last course of the day here at Jiko, the cooking place. I decided to go for the option that I told you. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's got some bread puddings on the side, and then this nest thing. Firstly, I love how it's presented. Look at it with the bird. But yeah, I asked what the nest bit was. That's meant to be the cinnamon and cardamom bit of it. Some ice cream on top. And yeah, looks really, really good. I almost don't want to eat it because it just looks adorable. And fun fact for you, the little biscuit thing that they've got on this dessert, that kind of, it just fell. Let me just put it back on. Yeah, the little biscuit thing that's meant to look like a bird. Look at it, pay close attention to it, and then I'm just going to pan the camera up so you guys can see the entire ceiling of Jiko is more or less covered with these birds. Now, I'm not really sure what the significance is to the restaurant, but I do think it's pretty cool that my dessert is basically in the same shape as the ceiling. Also, in case you're wondering, it is currently 10:30 p.m. My reservation was for 9:20, so I've been here for about an hour. Service has been great, a little bit faster than what I'm used to be honest, but that's because I'm used to like dining in European restaurants, French restaurants, where they take their time a little bit more when they serve to you. Because I've only been here for about an hour and 10 minutes and I'm already on to my third course, which, like I said, has been perfectly fine for me. Just a little bit too quick. It hasn't felt quick, it's just by looking at the time I'm like, whoa, how did I manage to do that so quickly? It could also be because I just ate everything quickly because I was so happy with the food. But yeah, the restaurant is now more or less empty. I'm pretty sure they don't have any more reservations coming through. I was one of the last reservations at 9:20. I think they might probably also have a couple more at 9:30, 9:40, but I don't think they sit anybody after 9:45. So yeah, with that I'm gonna enjoy my final course of the day. They also give you this as well, by the way. I think it's like some kind of pineapple sweet thing, so everybody gets this even if you don't order dessert. It's like a complimentary dessert if you don't at Jiko. But yeah, let's taste our desserts. Final course. How pretty is this dessert? I love desserts that look beautiful. I'm not the biggest dessert person anyway. When something looks beautiful or when something is chocolatey or coffee flavored, I love. Cinnamon stuff I do enjoy as well though. So yeah, let's take a bite out of this. I'm literally cutting into the nest at the moment. There you go, you can kind of see it over here. I'm going to try the nest first. I know it sounds really weird saying the nest, but the cinnamon cardamom area under the ice cream. I know this might be weird, but this basically tastes like a churro, because obviously churro has cinnamon on it. This is like a crunchy churro with the nest texture that's under the ice cream, and the ice cream obviously is nice and cold. I think it's just vanilla ice cream, to be fair. It's good, I enjoy it. I'm going to try a bit of the bread pudding too on the side. There you go, that's the bread pudding. That is delicious. That's so good. It's very sweet but lovely. I'm so glad I went for this dessert, by the way, because oh, it's so good, so lovely. Yeah, I'm really glad I went for this dessert because normally I would go for something that's chocolatey, and like I said last time I was here, I went for the chocolate option. I can't remember exactly what the exact name was, but it was some kind of chocolate cake with pistachio in it, and it was really good. But I'm glad I tried something different. I'm glad I tried something new. Again, shout out to my lovely server Kaylee, because she said it's her favorite, and then I was like, why not? You know, so far everything that she said good things about was delicious, so why not try this as well? Okay, I am now done with my meal, and it was such an incredible meal. You may be wondering, what's the price tag for it? So we do have the check or bill here in front of us, and as you can see, the total came to $125. Of course, with it being the US, you do also have to tip, and because my server was genuinely phenomenal, I will want to tip quite a bit. But you can see that it's not a cheap meal by any means. I mean, over $100. Obviously, I did get a filet mignon. I went for all 3 courses. I also had a glass of wine. So they all added up to, like I said, about $125. So very much a treat restaurant, very much like a nice posh restaurant. It is signature dining, as I mentioned as well. So of course, it was going to be more expensive than your usual Disney restaurant. To me, it was absolutely worth it. And I feel like if you're a foodie, if you just want to experience a beautiful restaurant and a beautiful hotel, Animal Kingdom Lodge, that has some lovely African, Mediterranean, just Indian flavors, something that's a bit different to usual, then it might be worth it for you as well. Just be prepared for it to be expensive, but it is signature dining, and you're going to have a lovely experience here with some fantastic cast members and some of the best food you're ever going to get in Walt Disney World. So that was my table just over there. Before I go, I wanted to quickly show you the rest of the restaurant as well. I think that up there is where my friends and I sat in 2017 when we came. So the restaurant isn't too big, but it's laid out quite nicely. Those birds up there as well, by the way, I asked my lovely server Kaylee, and she said they are called canoe birds. They are South African mythical creatures, and apparently they're the symbol of growth and prosperity. So there you go, lovely thing to have up on the ceiling. They do have a couple of booths as well, by the way, and the kitchen is just there on the back, and then we're coming back into the entrance. Also, as you would have seen, you get some lovely views of Animal Kingdom Lodge's outdoor area, and it's so nice actually having one of the later dining reservations, because you get to see it in its peace and quiet towards the end of a meal. So nice. With that, I have to say goodbye to Jiko until next time. I love this restaurant. I'm so glad I finally got to come back after 7 years, and hopefully, as Katie said, hopefully it won't be too long before my next visit. But I highly do recommend this restaurant. Everything that I had here, as you saw, was delicious. I can't even pick a favorite. I feel like the starter, thank you very much, thank you. The starter was beautiful. That wild boar tenderloin, and then that steak, I can't get over it. The mac and cheese as well, by the way, it actually consisted of 4 different cheeses, Kaylee said. So it had provolone, Gruyere, Asiago and Fontino cheese in it. 4 different cheeses, that's why it was so cheesy, and it was delicious as well. It was just a lot, I think, because I was already quite full from the starter, to be honest. When it came to my dessert, I really wanted to just focus on that steak, and it was a pretty good chunky piece of steak as well. Like, we might not have looked it, but it was quite a lot. I struggled with it, but I did finish the whole steak. The mac and cheese, like I said, it's obviously quite heavy. It was delicious, but I just wasn't able to finish it. And the Brussels sprouts, they were nice, but they're not my favorites, so I only had some of them. But yeah, the dessert was lovely too. Really nice. That was just a beautiful meal, guys. That was a beautiful meal. I am so happy that I managed to go there. I hope this video was informative for you guys as well. I'm trying to kind of showcase some of my favorite restaurants in Walt Disney World as well. Have like dedicated videos about them, because I've been to a lot of restaurants here in Disney World. Oh, bless her. My server Katie just came after me because I forgot to take my change. I tipped and then I left without actually taking any of my change. But yes, what was I saying? I have eaten at a lot of Walt Disney World restaurants since 2015, since my first visit here. I like trying new restaurants every time I come here, but there are a few that are my favorites and I like to come back to. Jiko is definitely one of them, and that's kind of why I wanted to dedicate a full video to it on this particular trip rather than have it just be in the vlogs. But if you check out any of my Walt Disney World vlogs, you can hopefully see some of my other favorite restaurants as well throughout the vlogs. But I'm hoping, like I said, in the future to make some more dedicated ones about different restaurants, because I think it'll be helpful, because there are so many restaurants here at Walt Disney World, and if it's your first time or if you haven't been in a while, this might give you a better idea of some that are better, at least from my opinion. But yeah, Jiko, let's just wave goodbye at it over here. Jiko, oh, I'm so sad that this meal experience is already over. But yeah, that steak, honestly, I've been to quite a lot of the steakhouses here in Walt Disney World. I've been to Yachtsman Steakhouse, I've been to California Grill, Le Cellier, so I've been to some of the best steakhouses here, and I think this one here at Jiko's was my favorite. And this isn't even a steakhouse, it's just like an African themed restaurant, so I hope that tells you just how good that was. But with that, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna go back up to my lovely room at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I do have a whole tour of that as well, so if you want to check it out, make sure you subscribe. Bye bye.